Hello, friends. How are you? I am checking in because, well, since we were talking about prophecy last time, so my last video, we were talking about the difference between psychic insight that Tom Brady received from Giselle and her kind of methods of witchcraft to trying to gain insight and spiritual advantages to win a Super Bowl. We were talking about the difference between that and Cooper Kupp's prophetic vision that he received from the Lord about winning the Super Bowl and then actually winning the Super Bowl MVP. So if you want to know that, you can click in the description of this video to get a baseline on the discussion of prophecy. But for those of you that have already watched that video, I want to go a little deeper into the discussion of prophecy, specifically how it relates to the NFL and how it's a prophecy has been fulfilled by the Kansas City Chiefs. So back in 2020, when the Kansas City Chiefs were in the Super Bowl, there's this guy by the name of Shawn Bowles. Now, he is a pretty well-known spirit-filled prophet who gives a lot of pretty accurate words. Now, when it comes to prophecy, I do want to note that it is humans who are not perfect, right? They are the ones hearing from God. And so sometimes these messages can be a little indirect, a little vague. So it's up to the person to receive them, interpret them, and then give the message out. And so there are times in the past where people hear the message and sometimes it's interpreted wrong or it's communicated wrong. So I know there's a lot of skeptics out there. So I don't want you to think just because sometimes people get it wrong that prophecy doesn't exist, because it does. And I want to give you a clear example of a Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory and how that is showing prophecy being fulfilled right now during these crazy times. Okay, so back before the Super Bowl even started, back in January 2020, January 19th, 2020, Shawn Bowles, he posted on his Facebook saying that Bob Jones had heard from God that the Chiefs would go to the Super Bowl and win it. He shared that when they won it, it would be a sign of upcoming and end time revival. He explained that God is raising up his Chiefs to be apostolic leaders in many spheres of influence. Today, if you follow football, you will see that the Chiefs have their first chance for 50 years as they are going to go to the Super Bowl. So this could be the time. Let's pray. So basically, Bob Jones told this guy at least 10 times that when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, we will know that revival is about to come and God will be raising up his apostolic chiefs. So usually prophecies, they kind of tie in like that. So God used the football team, the Chiefs, to deliver a message about him bringing new apostolic chiefs into the nation to create revival. So now, why this is so interesting, here's another post that he had shared after the Super Bowl victory. He doesn't quite know what this means, right? So Shawn Bowles is like, oh, snaps, the Kansas City Chiefs won. What does this prophecy truly mean? So he said, I'm not sure what it means when Bob Jones said that when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, revival is going to break out, but I am sure excited. We haven't been able to find any recordings of him saying this, but he said it often to us, and he often prophesied about sports teams and prophetic symbolism. So pretty much Shawn Bowles is like, yo, this guy gave me a prophecy. It's if the Chiefs win, the revival is going to break out and end times. So for those of you that don't know what end times means, the book of Revelations talks about how pretty much all this chaos is going to happen in the world. There's going to be an usher in of this new world order where Christianity is going to be under attack, and where pretty much the evil Antichrist is going to come out and try and get people to take his mark, the mark of the beast. And then that's really like, it's this whole crazy thing. So I'm not going to go into Revelations. That's advanced discussion. But basically, this would be the sign of end times and the sign of a new revival to help people be saved and protected during these times. So what's interesting is this prophecy happened in 2020. This was just before all of this pandemic craziness ever broke out. With this prophecy, I want you to look at the timeline. January of 2020, Shawn Bowles posts this prophecy saying, hey, they're in the playoffs, and if they win, this is a sign of the end of times. And they end up winning. And so Sean, when he realizes, whoa, the Chiefs won, what does this mean? He said he doesn't fully understand, because the way prophecy works is, there's certain pieces given where you have to piece it together, and it's up to the human interpretation sometimes, where we know humans can be far from perfect, so there can be stuff lost in translation. But there's no way he could have known truly what was going to happen. But now that we have 2 years since this prophecy got revealed, let's look at what happened. You have literally a month after the Super Bowl win, the whole world shut down. I don't know about you, but that sounds like the start of end times to me. Okay? The literal world shut down to a worldwide pandemic, and we have not been normal since. So basically, that win was a heads up like, yo, things are going to change. And now we're seeing 2 years later, freedoms being infringed on, society being divided like never before, discriminated against like never before, for medical choices, for health choices. We're seeing changes and division like never before. And you even have world leaders announcing that they are trying to usher in a new world order.
Now is a time when things are shifting. There's gonna be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. We've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
Now, I don't know if you guys know, but the book of Revelation has predicted all of this. The book of Revelation even predicted that the world will be deceived by pharmakia. Now, do you know what pharmakia means? That's the root word that we get pharmacy from. Okay, so we are seeing that pharmakia is playing a big role in whatever's happening in this world. Now, I'm not here to debate whether someone should do something or not do something, but what I'm here saying is that the Bible is spot on saying, predicted thousands of years ago what's happening right now. For someone who doesn't know the Bible, that doesn't know Jesus, like the book of Revelation and end times can be a very scary thing. But don't worry, like as long as you start understanding, as long as you start learning and eventually receiving what Jesus has for you, you will be protected during this time. But the first step is understanding what's going to happen. End time is here, and Jesus is going to be coming back really soon. But before he comes back, what has to happen, according to scripture, is everybody needs to have heard the gospel. So that's why the importance of raising up apostolic chiefs, just like the prophecy said, it's important to have people rise up and start sharing biblical truths, not just dogmatic religion, because a lot of churches and the dogma of the church actually preach the opposite of what Jesus said. So I know it's kind of crazy. But so basically, when this prophecy happened, stuff was already a little crazy, and it's gotten a lot crazier. So to me, I see this as an accurate prophecy that Bob Jones gave us that showed kind of the warning that the world was kind of gonna go into this flip upside down, and chaos was gonna happen, and as a result, new leaders were gonna step up to help the nations, and that's where we're at. So I feel like you guys, there's many of you who are being called on during this time as well to kind of step up, be bold. Me personally, I feel I've been called to step up, be bold, and to share my testimony, to share things that will educate people so that they can be safe and empowered and protected by the Lord during this time, because it's going to get crazier, guys. So yeah, the prophecy, it's been unfolding right before our eyes, and I'm just excited because I'm excited to know that the Lord speaks so clearly to people who are listening. And if you're paying attention, you're not going to be caught off guard. You're not going to be the one who's like hopeless and has no idea what to do and gets filled with depression. You're going to be the one who God gives you a seed of insight to take action, to protect yourself, to protect your family. He will give you the word, just like Cooper Kupp got the word he was going to win the Super Bowl.
In 2019, we walked off the field that last time after losing to the Patriots. I wasn't able to be a part of that thing. I don't know what it was. There's just this vision God revealed to me that we were going to come back. We were going to be a part of a Super Bowl. We were going to win it. And I was going to walk off the field as the MVP of the game.
He'll give you the word in your life that, hey, the rest of the world may be starving, but you're going to be okay because you're listening to my voice and I have food for you if you walk this unique path, right? So I'm excited to know that God's prophecies are being fulfilled and to be tapped into a network that hears so powerfully from the Lord. So if you guys want to tap into that type of network and to start practicing prayer and all of that stuff, I will, just reach out to me. This is all kind of new to me. I'm not quite sure how this community is going to unfold, but I do know that I want to have some more private, intimate time with you guys, maybe via Zoom. So if that sounds like something that interests you, definitely hit me up in the comments and I'll start making a list and start making some plans to kind of have some private time. I don't really know. So just stay tuned. I thank you guys for your patience. I thank you for listening to all my crazy talk. And hopefully this one wasn't too far over your head. Shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs fans. Thank you for your team for fulfilling this prophecy and giving us a heads up on the end times that is happening. That team, that victory literally gave us a heads up on the pandemic. Like, what? That's so crazy. So that's really it. This is an example of a prophecy being fulfilled and the way that the Lord can give people added insight on what's going to happen and how we can act in accordance with the prophecy and with the move of God that is happening. So that's really it for this discussion. I know it's quick. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments and I'll be back soon with more weird, crazy videos about sports, prophecy, angelic, demonic activity. Like, I'm doing all the crazy stuff here. So that's really it. Have a blessed day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Adios. Mwah.